I'm still not super sure if she's trusting me enough, then I say, oh, let's go to walk around them. Then we walk for 5-10 minutes, then we sit somewhere outside, and then I make the invitation. If you're new here, my name is Luca, and I'm one of the world's leading experts about approaching girls in the daytime. Since 2018, I've helped over 1,200 men sleeping with new girls approached in the daytime. I started teaching it only in Italy in 2018, and then also internationally from 2022. For example, sometimes I walk before inviting the girl to my place. For example, maybe I did 2 locations, and then I'm still not super sure if she's trusting me enough. Then I say, oh, let's go to walk around them. Then we walk for 5-10 minutes. Then we sit somewhere outside, and then I make the invitation. But I changed the location again. It doesn't count as a third location, but it's pretty much the same. You're changing location to create more trust in the girl. Okay, so that's why sometimes I make the invitation after a little walk after the second location, or after the first location. It depends. Or sometimes I walk if I'm sure that I cannot have sex with the girl on that date. And so, for example, maybe I just go for a walk and I kiss the girl. For example, I was doing it a lot when I was living in Milan, Italy. There was a park where I was going after a date. If I was not able to take the girl home, for example, I was realizing during the date that it would have been impossible to have sex with that girl on the first date. So I will not make a very long date if I cannot have sex with that specific girl on that date. So after maybe 1 hour or 2 hours, if I haven't kissed the girl already, I will say to the girl, oh, let's take a walk, and I will walk towards that park, and I will kiss her on that park that was very isolated, with a lake, with animals, and this kind of bullshit that girls likes a lot. Okay, so but do not walk around casually. It's very, very important. If you don't believe me, try these things, and you will see how you will ruin your dates. People don't understand how important the logistical plan, having a logistical plan, is. And that's why most part of the people, they don't have sex. So set a logistic plan for all the people that are connected now, for all the people that will watch later. Set a logistic plan before going out. Otherwise, it's useless to go out. For example, if you go to a new city and you don't have a logistic plan, you don't know where to go for a date, you don't know where to invite a girl, for example, for an instant date, it's already useless to go out, because to get a solid phone number, you have to already talk about the date and then asking for the number. So even when you're getting a number, you already have to tell to the girl where you will invite her, more or less, where you will go together for the date. Okay, and if you're not prepared logistically, what you will say? You will say, oh, you can say I'm just arrived now in this city. I don't know exactly every place, but it's just not the best thing. Okay, so that's why when I travel, when I go to a new city, I always dedicate the first 1 or 2 days to explore the area, so I will know where to go for a date, and then I will start approaching, because otherwise it's useless. Okay, so, and as I told you at the beginning, it's necessary, especially if you have a bad logistical situation. Okay, if you live with your parents, if you live with roommates, if you can have sex only in the car, if you live very far from the center of your city, it's mandatory. It's mandatory still, also for people that live next to the city center, but especially for people that live outside. For example, when I was back in 2015, 16, 17, I was still living with my parents. I was living outside Milan, Italy, and I could have sex only in my car. Okay, I never had my house available in that 3 years. Sometimes I had sex to the girl's place, but if I was not preparing a logistical plan to have sex in the car, I had sex many times in my car back in 2015, 16, 17. But if I was not preparing a logistical plan, it would have been useless to go on a date. Okay, so prepare a logistical plan. And understand how important are logistics, and these was just few of the requirements for a good location. Okay, there are still many, but otherwise the video would be too long.